Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. This is a bit of a quick reaction to the news. Well, first of all, I'm Jordan, with my co-host, Dakota, as always. Usually not doing these intros, so this is exciting. Big day for me. So we are talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stream that went on yesterday. Admittedly, Dakota and I are not huge Power Ranger collectors. I think it'd be fair to say, Dakota, I have more affinity for the Power Rangers than you do. You're
Yeah.
not, didn't really, did
I
you
think in
watch
our current
Power
state,
Rangers
yeah.
or not really?
I was going to say, getting into I don't know, collecting action figures when you're a kid. I don't know if that counts as collecting, but the very first action figures I ever really was buying myself were Power Rangers. So I would typically get like whatever the Megazords were. I think they were in like the 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look and see if I still have some of those. But yeah, I was getting like Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't remember the one before, but I had a really cool Megazord with like a bunch of animals. So yeah, that was how I started, and then I switched into Marvel Legends, and then kind of stopped watching the show and haven't really gone back to Power Rangers. But I will say that this stream was pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, obviously, I grew up, I've had my older siblings watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so I know the kind of classics there. Watched a couple other ones. There's like Lost Galaxy, and I remember hearing about Dino Thunder. I think that was when I was kind of getting out of Power Rangers. But yeah, the stream was pretty good. I mean, all the different teams they showed seemed pretty excited and pretty into just being pumped. And you and I were speculating a little bit, maybe there's less pressure on the Power Rangers. I mean, of course, there's less pressure, I think, on the Power Ranger team than the Legends team. And I also noticed right away the comments were turned on.
Yeah.
Whereas the last Hasbro stream for Legends, there were no comments, which I don't know. Maybe that's a poor mark on the fandom of Legends, but
True.
you know,
and it seemed like there was also less in the feed. Like I can't remember. I want to say like whenever we're doing or like watching the Hasbro team give their announcements, I want to say there's like 5 to 7, maybe even more. I guess it depends if it's like a HasLab. There's going to be a lot more people in the stream, but I was going to say it's like 5 to 7,000 at least usually, and I think there was only around like a little over 2,000 in the Power Rangers stream, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, there was definitely I was trying to do that too, going between the chat and the stream to kind of see what people are reacting to, and a lot of the reactions I saw were pretty positive. So
for sure.
I mean, we can just dive right into what some of those reveals were.
Let's do it.
One of the first ones, I think, that they showed, it was the Lightning Collection. So this is kind of like their flagship line. So they had a Dino Thunder figure, the Black Ranger, which in that series was Tommy Oliver. So the original White Green Ranger coming back he's kind of like the mentor professor figure for these new generation of Power Rangers, but he eventually suits up and becomes the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. So I could see people seem pretty excited about this one. Yeah. He comes with the Jason David Frank, Tommy Oliver alternate head, which I thought looked actually pretty good. I don't think, because they were saying some of the other ones were pinless. I don't know if this one is. Let's see. You can see the pins on him.
Yep.
So he is not pinless, but I thought, and then also the windowless packaging, so there's that. But he, like I said, comes with that alternate head sculpt that's kind of, well, now that I'm looking at it, never mind. It doesn't really look like him, so scratch that or retract it. But again, like you said, Dakota, who wants to display your figure without their superhero face? So
right. I mean, maybe if you had them like holding their helmets, which I think maybe they had some pictures like that, but no, I agree.
And then the other exciting one, so that was pretty cool. People seemed pretty into that. They also had Lightning Collection, the Pink Ranger from Lost Galaxy, which I watched this show a little bit, and I think they've been waiting for a Pink Ranger of her. So this one was like, gosh, I want to say like around 2,000 or so. So again, this is making sense that a lot of the collectors who would have grown up with these are getting around to these figures and actually collecting them now.
Yeah.
I believe she was a pinless figure though, so
Yep.
that was pretty cool. She comes with like a dagger and all her different.
Yeah, she's got quite a bit of accessories. The dagger, the sword, alternate hands. So she's got a fisted and then like a karate chopping hand and then two
Mm-hmm.
gripping hands. And then I don't know what it kind of looks like a bow and arrow to me, but I'm sure that's not what it is. And then like
Yeah,
a
it's
lightning effect and glasses and a helmet. So again,
yeah.
I don't know what that one is, but
I think it's some kind of bone. If I'm trying to load my images here to get a look at it, but yeah, it's like her daggers, but like she has her dagger. I remember her daggers form into like a bow and arrow type thing.
oh, all
So
right,
yeah, I thought the glasses feature is kind of cool.
yeah,
That's kind of fun. You can, if you don't want them with those, you don't. Because people were saying right away, "Oh, she needs another head sculpt," and they're like, "Well, here you go. You take the
right,
glasses off." It's
yeah,
like, oh. And they'll act. It's not going to be like Beast, I imagine, where they'll actually sit on her head. So
yeah,
hopefully. And then they also had another Dino Fury Blue Ranger, which again I'm not super familiar. It sounded like that was the current series they
oh,
were
okay,
talking about, right?
gotcha,
Because there's Dino Thunder and then Dino Fury,
oh,
which I believe Thunder took place because they also had the Mesogog bad guy that everyone was commenting like he was the OG scariest Power Ranger villain. So I think
okay,
he was from that show in the early 2000s.
yeah,
Because I was trying to figure this out as I was watching it too, because they, like you said, they did a lot of like entertainment stuff too, where they were kind of promoting the new series of the show and
right,
kind of cool. They had the writers on there and a producer kind of giving you behind the scenes looks at what's going on with the characters and all that.
yeah,
So again, neither of these figures I'm too attached to because I don't really remember them. But I mean, for being what they are, I think they look pretty good.
yeah, I agree. He doesn't come with
Especially
as
for
much stuff, but still pretty. I like the design. I think it's a cool looking Ranger. He's got his unmasked head, two alternate hands, a lightning effect, and then his sword. But he's also got pins. But they had the actor that plays this Power Ranger on the stream, like opening it up and kind of doing like his reaction to the
yeah,
figure. So that was cool.
yeah. I thought that was cool too. I thought that was a nice little just having all those different parts together. Like I think that works better than what was that Legend stream one time where they had like a random
Like a football player and his kid. I think they were
yeah,
opening up
where it's
Moon
just
Knight,
like
maybe.
yeah,
And then
like
they revealed that Wolverine. Yeah.
right, like with Donny Cates, that was cool because it's like, oh, he wrote the comic, so he's also part of like, knows what's going on with it. What?
I was just thinking, it's like they're just like, oh, we got to find any person that's even remotely famous to
Yeah,
jump on this live stream. But yeah, whatever. And
open
they couldn't get
legends.
somebody that's like so famous where it's like, oh, we've got whatever his name is that plays Moon Knight, reveal Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Be a little too big of a get for Hasbro, but you know.
you never
And then
know.
when they do get the actual actors talking about him, it's the Eternals figures being like, "Oh my gosh, this figure sucks." Did you ever see that when they were on Jimmy Fallon
Yeah,
talking about how
yeah,
terrible
she
the
was
figures
saying
were?
how like it doesn't look like her at all. Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah. So
Sorry, Hasbro.
Power Rangers like their figures much more.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say he seemed pretty excited and
Yeah.
good energy and yeah, this Mesogod guy. I don't know. I was even thinking like you could tweak the Mesogod guy to fit in with some legions or something. I don't know what that
Yeah.
sculpting you could do, but he's kind of just a dragon-looking man with a fireball coming out of his hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not too familiar with him, but
Yeah. I
I
watched
mean,
this back when it was on, but I don't actually remember much of the show. I don't remember this guy, but I thought it was kind
yeah.
of cool. Like some of the promo shots have like the blast effect coming out of his forehead. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. And I like. It looks like, I mean, unless these are deceiving, but that he's pretty posable despite having
The
the
like
like
skirt
waist.
piece.
Yeah, like
Like a
is
robe.
that more that more bendable plastic? I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out. Well,
Yeah. They've
someone
got him in
will.
some good
I
poses.
don't think I will, but I will not be picking this one up. But I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
And then finally, that brings us into the kind of what I felt was sort of the keynote of the stream, which was the Mighty Morphin 30th anniversary thing. So this year, this year, because they had a whole new packaging and logo that they revealed. That kind of ties in with what's going to be a new, it's called Power Rangers Once and Always, I think,
Yeah.
which will be like a Netflix special reuniting a couple different Ranger actors in a new story. So they're celebrating that, kind of similar to what the Legends folks have been doing with like Spider-Man and now X-Men. So they had the first two figures of that line, which are the Yellow and Blue Ranger, so Trini and Billy, the um, original Blue and Yellow Ranger. I think these look pretty cool. I
I
mean, I
agree.
expected they'd be in the 30 something price range.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool if they were a little lower, but what can you expect?
Right.
For what they come with, though, I'll just talk about the Blue Ranger first. I
Sure.
mean, he's pinless, so
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. I like that even with Power Rangers, that's a standard. He's got those two effects. He's got his blaster. He's got his two like dagger things, two sets of hands, alternate head, glasses, his staff. He's even got the little morpher that he can like hold, which I thought. Did you notice that they
Yeah.
give you hands so that you can make him hold it,
Yeah,
which
that
I
was a
think
good
is pretty
idea.
cool. And this looks much better. I don't know if you've seen the last Billy
Mm-mm.
head sculpt, but it's pretty
Puts it to
rough.
shame.
Yes, so this is much better. Because the current one, the old one is going. If you look on eBay, like it's pretty high. So I think
Wow.
they knew. Um, I don't remember what those numbers were exactly, but I thought it was at least like 60 plus
Wow.
at the low end. So, but then people also, I think, are excited to get the Yellow Ranger. Um, because everyone likes the new stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
every Power Ranger fan pretty much is a sucker for
The
the
classics.
OG. Yeah, and
Yeah.
she comes with a lot too. She's got the extra head, like the multi tool. I think it's kind of like a dagger slash blaster.
Mm.
The hands, the head, the morpher, the effects, also pinless. Looks like those double jointed elbows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, if I were, I'm even tempted by them being like a casual Rangers fan. I think it'd be
Yeah.
cool to have them all. But even as like, if I were a hardcore Power
Mm-hmm.
Ranger collector, I'd be pretty happy, especially with those.
Yeah.
But I think they also had the 2 pack of the Tanga Warriors, like the
Mm-hmm.
Birdmen,
Yeah.
which I think you have one of,
Yep.
right?
I've got one of them.
So I don't know if that's just a repackage. Probably,
I think so. Yeah.
I doubt it's anything new.
Slight repaint.
But if you want to army build the birds,
Yeah.
that's there. And then they kind of were just saying, stay tuned. There's more to come in
Mm-hmm. I would say you.
2023.
Do you think they're gonna finish out that whole team in that like
This in that line,
anniversary package? Yeah. Like in this year?
I don't know. That'd be a lot
Right.
because they still would have to do, of course, red, pink, Black Ranger, and then white and or green. That's 5 figures, and those are all like kind of bangers. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
True.
Maybe it will be. Some people are theorizing. Did you ever watch the Mighty Morphin movie as a kid with Ivan Ooze?
Yes, I did.
There's talk of people really wanting a new Ivan Ooze, so I
Yeah.
could see them throwing him in there,
Dang. I mean, I hope they
which
put
I would
all these
maybe
out.
buy just for nostalgia's sake because he was so crazy.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get any of them, but I would hope, like, as a collector, that you could get every single one of these, like, get the whole team on this package. Because, like, they were kind of showing it, like, if you put it on the
Yeah,
shelf,
it's
kind of
like
like how,
it's
like,
stacked.
Mezco
Yeah.
or Mafex collectors would display their boxes. It looks like it'd be a cool team display. And even those effects, too. Like, I could see people just buying these Rangers just for, like, that blue effect that he comes with. I mean, maybe the yellow
Yeah.
effect, too. I think the blue would maybe be a little bit more usable, like, I mean, it's kind of like lightning-y looking, but I think it would look cool with like a Namor or put it around your Thor. Stuff
Yeah.
like that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then when they were talking about, I don't remember if it was before this or
Oh
after
yeah, the Mega. Sorry.
the Megazord. Now that's one that like would tempt me because you know how I
Yeah.
like my substantial.
I know.
This guy looks big, and we
You
talked about
said he
him kind of
was
on
how
the.
much?
I believe it
Didn't you
was.
look it up?
I think it was 165. I want to
It's
say.
less than you thought, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is much less than I thought. But let me see. It's got the size here. So he is 14 and a half inches tall. So bigger than your Toy Biz giant man. And then he like transforms into the spaceship too. Or I assume that's a spaceship. But this one, I think I had this Megazord as a kid, like in 6-inch form.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. Yeah, they got a lot more into that. I kind of admittedly zoned out a little bit on that part, just because it was, I don't know,
You're not going to be
unboxing. I
spending
was
the
like,
165 on it.
no, but I mean, I saw, I was more eager about the 30th anniversary news, I think.
Sure.
But yeah, so overall, even as a casual Rangers fan, I was pretty
Mm-hmm.
impressed by the stream. It makes me want to not support it, like go all in, but if I see the odd Ranger toy that I might want, I'll be probably a little more tempted to get it now.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah, you can let us know what you thought of that stream. Anything that you'll be getting. Anything we missed. I don't think we missed anything. Do you think we will get all the original Rangers on a same packaging this year? Seems unlikely, but who knows? So you leave in comments. Maybe one of these days we'll do a response to comments episode, because I feel like we're accumulating some good questions. So
Yeah.
if you ever have thoughts or commentary, let us know, especially if they're very nice and constructive. So be liking, sharing, subscribing, and until next time, stay strong.